The name of this video is how to take the winning trades with the buyer and short, but it's actually how to take the trades that everyone else is taking. Now, yeah, recently with the BD members, we have been heavily focused on teaching our members about price action with the buyer and short. So looking for support and resistance, structure, break and retest, trends, pullbacks, everything to do with price action. We have covered it over the last few weeks. We have a webinar every single week with the BD members. We do some trading with the binary destroyer as a group, going over every single setup that we take, and we go over the price action around that setup. Why is this setup good and why is it bad? Now, I called a trade yesterday. I'll show you the trade yesterday. This is it here. It is a buy on USD CAD on the 4-hour time frame. And if you actually have a look at USD CAD now, look at it. It's rocketed straight up. Now, I've been trying to teach this over the last few weeks with the BD members, okay? If you want to master price action and you want to master the charts, you need to understand this main rule. And that is, the only way currency pairs can move is if people buy them or people sell them, okay? It's the only way currency pairs move. So if the price is going up like this, it means there's a lot of buyers, okay? If we look at the price here, it's gone down. So it's come down to this area here and then gone up. See that? So obviously what's happened is we had a lot of sellers, and then all of a sudden, for some unknown reason, we start to get a lot of buyers driven the price up. Again, that's the only way that currency pairs will move. If a lot of people sell them, it drives the currency pairs down. And again, a lot of buyers, it drives the currency pair up. Look at it a bit like a scale, okay? Look at it like this, okay? If there's a lot of sellers, it's going to drive the currency pair down, right? But eventually, there's going to be more buyers coming into play. And when that happens, currency pair goes up. When you've got equal buyers and equal sellers, price goes sideways, or realistically price doesn't do a lot, okay? It just fluctuates up and down like this because it's equal buyers and equal sellers. Eventually one of those is going to win, either it's buyers or sellers, and it's going to go into that certain direction, okay? Now what we want to do if we want to be successful and be able to predict these movements in currency pairs is figure out where buyers are going to buy and sellers are going to sell. Look at this little example here, right? Like I said, Sunday night, I called a buy on USD CAD and I said, look, I've been in this trade for a few days now. It's still going to go higher. Now, why did I know that? Why did I know this was going to go higher? Well, it's quite simple. You need to look where buyers are likely to buy this price. Now, if we just zoom out here, the overall direction of this currency pair, USD CAD, is up. So I know if a currency pair is going up, there's a lot of people buying it, okay? Now, what I then want to do is have a look to see where more buyers are looking to buy, okay? And what we had perfectly on USD CAD off the 4-hour time frame was price come down, MACD went oversold, we popped a few Mogwai signals, and we came straight to a support line. If you just zoom out here, okay, probably see it better on the 1 hour. Let's have a look at the 1 hour. Again, I'm just going to zoom out here. Look at this area of support. We've got a support there. We've got a support there. We've got a resistance. We've got a support over there. We've got a resistance there. Again, you get the idea. This is an area of support and resistance. Again, if I zoom out even further, you can even bring it across here as well. Touch, 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 touch. So I know, looking at previous data now, that this is an area where traders like to buy and sell USD CAD, right? You can call it structure, support and resistance, supply and demand zones. You know, it doesn't matter. You can call it what you want. The point is that buyers have bought here, sellers have bought here. So when I look at this setup now on the 4-hour, okay, you can see why buyers bought here. Now, obviously, I have the binary destroyer. It helps me. It pops a signal. I look at that and I go, great, MACD's gone oversold. It tells me the market's oversold here. We've got Mogwai signal and we're at a support line. Great. Look at the overall direction of the market. It's up. this is where a lot of buyers bought. Now, if we actually have a look now on the 1 hour time frame, we've actually just popped a Mogwai signal here. Right, now again, what we want to start to do is to draw our resistance to see, is this an area where sellers are now going to come into play and drive the price back down. Now, like I was saying to a lot of BD members, okay, you have to remember liquidity in the market happens every single day, right? There's always liquidity in the market. There's 5.5 trillion, not billion, not millions, $1 trillion is traded on the foreign exchange every single day. There is enough liquidity in the market. It means that every single minute of the day, there are buyers and sellers on the same currency pair. Yes, literally, there are people buying a currency pair and selling a currency pair at the exact same time. It has to happen. That is normal. That happens day in, day out, every single day on every single currency pair. It's just how the market works. And I'll give you an example here, right? Look at USD/JPY. If you've been following my YouTube videos recently, you will know that I've been literally hammering this currency pair. If I just show you, I'll just show you this setup here. I called it, again, all last week in yesterday's videos and last week's videos. I was here, right? Look. You can see here, I literally have been hammering sells on USD/JPY. And again, if you look here, in fact, there's another few BD members as well have been taking this exact same trade. Look at USD/JPY. Now, this currency pair, the reason why I mention it a lot is very interesting. And I want to break it down to you again. And then I want to show you a fascinating trade with the binary destroyer. And you'll get a better understanding of what I mean. Now, if we look on USD daily, right? This is on the daily time frame. Notice how we've moved down from this. Okay, we've come up to this area. We've bounced off it. Big sell-off here. First of all, we want to understand why that happened. Why did this currency pair come up to this level and suddenly drop? Well, if we go over to the monthly time frame, it makes perfect sense, right? Just bring this down like this here, and you zoom out like here, and you've got an area of resistance. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch, yeah? Maybe that one as well, 5 touches. Okay, so 5 touches on the monthly time frame. When you go over to the daily, it explains now why this currency pair is going down is because there's a lot of sellers in the market. So instantly now, I know there's a lot of sellers in the market. If we actually have a look here, right, we've actually done a nice little break and retouch of this structure. Okay, what this basically is a break and retouch. So imagine this is our support line like here. What's happened is prices come up, come down to it, bounced off it, come up like this, broken, done this. This is exactly what's happened here. It's a break and retouch of a resistance area or a support line. Support line becomes resistance, structure, demand zone. It doesn't matter what you call it. The point is, a lot of sellers have been selling at this level. Okay, and that's exactly what's happened. If I just make it a different color so you can see, let's make it red. See how we've come down there? We've pulled back up. Again, a lot of sellers are now starting to sell USD/JPY to the downside. But what's very fascinating is if you actually go over to the 30-minute time frame, okay, and I zoom out here and I mark up this area of support, just make it here. Again, this isn't perfect, but again, you get the idea here. Look at this area of support. So we've got a touch there, touch there, touch there, touch there, touch there, touch there, touch there. You get the idea. Literally, people have been buying USD/JPY at the same time as selling USD/JPY. It's called liquidity. It's part of trading. It's just normal, right? And you need to understand that if you want to be successful at trading, is what's happening here is perfectly normal. There's people on the 30-minute time frame buying USD/JPY to the top of this resistance area here. Right, which is normal. It's a good trade. You know, that would have banked you around, 40 pips. It's normal. 30-minute time frame, 40 pip take profit. You would have made some good money. Now, me, that's looking at the daily time frame, is selling it, right? But I'm not selling for 40 pips. I'm selling for a lot longer. My long-term sell is around maybe 150 pips, right? But again, that's normal. Let me show you now example with the binary destroyer, and it will start to make sense for you now. So this is the binary destroyer here. And let's just, I'm going to put this side by side. So I'm going to put this like this here. And okay, let me explain that again. So in yesterday's webinar, we were doing some trading. We were simulating the Mogwai strategy on the 15-minute time frame, and I caught this perfect sell signal. We went over it with the BD members, why it was such a good sell, and I want to go over it again with you now because it's going to make a lot more sense. Now, what I want you to do is take note of exactly what I've just said for the past 5 minutes about looking where sellers and buyers are going to take their trades, right? Looking where the liquidity is, looking where the momentum is. Look at this on Euro USD. So I've got Euro USD on the 15-minute charts with the Mogwai strategy loaded up. I've got Euro USD on the 1-hour charts now with pure price action. Let me just mark up some areas, and I just want to quickly go over it with you here. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this like this here. Okay, again, and as you can see here, this is the 1-hour time frame. Now, what's actually, let me move myself out of the way. What's actually happening here? Okay, so let's just mark up the price action around here. So we've got a resistance area. I'll make that blue so you can see. We've got a resistance area at the top. You can see that just there. We've kind of come up. We've created a kind of double top pattern. And obviously a lot of sellers came in here. So that's actually a double top pattern there. Okay, it looks perfect like an M. We've then come down to this previous resistance area. If you actually have a look, let me get rid of that there. If you actually have a look at left, we've got an area of touch there. We've got a slight touch there. Obviously, we've got a touch there, a touch there, and a touch there. So you get the idea. This is an area of resistance or structure, as you want to call it, supply, demand, whatever. It doesn't really matter. What we've done is we've come down. We've broken this level here and come back up. And notice how we've retouched it. See that there? So we've retouched this level. And again, remember what I said, it is a break and retouch of a resistance area. So notice how we've then come down. Now what's fascinating is we've actually created our first low. So if you actually have a look here, we've got a low, we've got a lower low, right? So it confirms to me that, okay, we're going down. We've broken structure, we've created a new low, and then look what happens. We pull straight back up to this resistance area. And let me ask you the question, right? Let me ask you the question. What do you think is going to happen right now at this level? Going over exactly what I said. Lower lows, break and retouches, also the candlestick analysis as well. Look at the rejection wick here. What do you think is going to happen? I know what's going to happen. It's going to be a lot of sellers are going to start selling at this level. Now, this is the great part to the binary destroyer, because what we have now is the binary destroyer loaded up on the 15-minute time frame. And the good part about having indicators is they do the analysis for us. So rather than actually drawing support and resistance and looking for setups, we let the binary destroyer pop a Mogwai arrow, give me a notification. I look at that notification. Is it a good setup I want to take? Is it a bad setup I want to take? That is pretty much how I do my trading, right? I sit here for a few hours. When I get an arrow appear, I look at that arrow. Is it a trade that I want to take? So let's look at this now on the 15-minute charts. Remember, this is the same resistance area as I just explained to you on the 1 hour, right? You see this resistance area here on the 1 hour? This is it here on the 15-minute charts. Again, you might see it a little bit better. We've got a touch there, touch there, touch there, touch there, touch there, touch there. What do you think, based off my analysis now, is going to happen? Exactly that. A lot of sellers are going to come into play like here, right? And what do? Is we put our stop loss above the resistance. So let's just put it here. Right, let's just put a stop loss of around 35 pips, and we will go with a 60 pip take. Let's go with a 50 pip take profit. Okay, 30 pip stop loss, 50 pip take profit. We're going to take a sell. Watch this. Literally watch this. Okay, price pulls up. and we go down. Now, what's funny is if you actually zoom out now, look at it. It's an absolute perfect Mogwai signal with the trend. Absolute perfect signal. Now, this trade itself actually went like 150 pips. Let's see if it goes any further. No. Okay, so it's not. Okay. With a few Mogwai signals there. It went about 150 pips. Now, the question you're always going to ask is, how do I know that? Well, like I said, analysis, drawing my support and resistance. Look at this one, right? Look, going back to this setup here. See this one here, right? Let's take it back to, again, I just want to take it back. Let's go to the 1 hour. Let's take it back here, right? I'll do my last setup of the day. Of this video. So let me just take it back here. Notice how the buy and short gives me a signal. Let's take it back to this signal here. Okay, so again, let's just imagine this was live. Okay, so let's do this like this was live. Okay, so binary destroyers pop some signals. I have a look here. Oh yeah, okay, binary destroyer is telling me to say take a signal. Okay, Euro USD Mogwai signal, Mogwai signal. Okay, so fine, it's telling me Mogwai signal. MACD's gone overbought. Yes. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. Okay, it looks like, Jamie, we've got an area of resistance again, just here. Let me just move myself out the way. Yeah, okay. I like that. Again, nice little break and retouch. See that there? If we've got a touch there, a touch there, touch there. Again, if I just pull it across here, we've got another touch there as well. So you get the idea. This is a break and retouch of this structure. Now, going over what I said, I know there's going to be a lot of sellers at this level, right? I know that. So let's go back down to the 15-minute time frame. Again, let's just mark up that resistance as well on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so I'm going to pop that like that there. And again, you can see a number of touches there. There's one there as well. So even on the 15-minute time frame, I can see this area of resistance. And again, probably drag it bigger across, you can see here, right? Even a few Mogwai signals there as well. So going back to here, where do I take the trade? Let me just tell you exactly where I'm going to take the trade. So wait for the MACD to cross over, which it just has there. So MACD's crossed over, but I want to be below the TCA line. I want that TCA line to turn green. I want price to be below it. So still hasn't. Okay. Okay, here we go here. So TCA line starting to turn red. Okay, so this is where I would enter the trade. MACD's crossed over. Obviously, TCA line turned red. This confirms exactly what I was going to do. So again, stop loss. I'll put it above the resistance. So let's go with a 20. Let's go with a 22 pip stop loss, and let's just stick a 40 pip take profit. So a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. Stop loss take profit. Do we win this trade? Now, obviously, we pull a little bit higher. Hopefully, we win this trade. Okay. Now, the reason why I put my stop loss here is look at the area of resistance, right? Just going to bring it up here. And this is, again, I try and teach people this, is there's two big difference now between your strategy and your entry point and managing your trades. There's no point, being an expert on managing trades, like putting your stop loss in the right place, putting your take profit in the right place, if you don't know which signals to take. If you're always taking the losing setups, you're not going to be any good at trading, right? You could be absolute perfect at taking the perfect setups, but if you don't manage your trades properly, put your stop loss in the right place, you take profit, makes no difference, right? You can't have one and not the other. You got to have both. So this is why I put my stop loss just a little bit higher, because it's above previous structure. See how it's above the area? See here, right? It's a few pips above previous structure, which is what I want it to do. Okay, so let's look at it on the 1 hour. Let's just focus it on the 1 hour. So okay, so we stopped out. Now that's actually awkward. That's really frustrating that I literally got stopped out by 1 pip, right? We go back to this setup here, and yeah, literally I got stopped out by the 1 pip. Now, it's unfortunate that that happened, because looking at the overall setup, it was a good setup. My take, if we actually go back to, I just want to show you on this particular setup here. Let me just show you. is okay, here we go here. So let's just look where my take profit is. My take profit is perfect. It's right on that line. And let's see what happens. Perfect. We lost. So looking back at this trade, we want to take one thing, is that I did the right thing here. My entry point was okay. My take profit was perfect because it went straight down and hit my take profit. The only thing that was bad about this trade is I got stopped out by literally 1 or 2 pips. Unfortunately, I take that as a loss and we move on from it and we look for the next trade. But going back here, and this is what, again, I want you to learn, is that this was not a bad trade. Even though it was a losing trade and we lost there's nothing bad about it. The analysis was right. We did the right thing. We took the trade at the right time. Our take profit was in the right place. It got filled. It got hit. Unfortunately, I got stopped out by 2 pips. It is what it is. Maybe I could have put my stop loss at a little bit higher, but you know, you can always look at things in hindsight. Maybe in the next trade, I set my stop loss just a couple of pips higher to protect it more. It is what it is. But yeah, that's how you, I guess, liquidity trade with the binary destroyer. And that is how you pick the perfect setup. So my name is Jamie Palmer, and thank you for watching.